Let's say you have $1,000 in your bank account and you want to build a gaming PC that is perfectly capable of 4K and 1440p gaming. Because yes, this PC not only will be capable of 1440p high FPS, but also 4K gaming. Now, if you want to play at 1080p, I think you can spend even less and get away with it, because the GPU for this build is going to be a really high FPS GPU. I will explain all the components and you will have them down below in the video description. Now, if your budget is below or above $1,000, then I do recommend you going to my website, where it's really simple to find the right PC for you. Just pick your favorite game, pick your budget, and you will have the estimated FPS and the right PC build that will get you the expected FPS. And I recommend you watching this whole video, because I will explain also how to make this PC cheaper and a bit more expensive if you want better performance or you want to save money without losing much performance. That being said, let's start. For the CPU, I picked the AMD Ryzen 5 5600, a 6-core 12-thread processor that is more than capable of even 4K gaming. Now, if we are talking about content creation, that would be a different story, but for gaming, this GPU will be enough not to bottleneck our GPU. The price is $140, so really hard to beat it. For the motherboard, I picked the MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. Now, this is not any flashy motherboard, it's going to get the job done for gaming, and you also get Wi-Fi included, meaning that if you don't have an Ethernet cable, then you can be connected via Wi-Fi. And it's only $120, so the price is really good. Then for the memory kit, I picked the Team Group T-Crate Expert 16 gigs of RAM. This is 2x8, so dual channel, of DDR4 at 3200 MHz. This is CL16 memory for only $40. Now, if you want to do content creation, then I do recommend you upgrading to 32 gigs of RAM. But if you want to do content creation, then this PC build will be completely different, and you will have a content creator PC build on my website. It's actually interesting, because if you want to go for RGB RAM, it's actually the same price, but the case is going to be a different one. So if you want RGB, you will have alternatives down below in the video description. For the storage, I picked the Team Group MP33 1TB of SSD. Now, this is really fast for gaming. You actually don't need anything more than this SSD. However, if you download a bunch of games, and we are talking about a bunch of heavy games, then you can consider 2TB of SSD, but 1TB is the standard for gaming, and for most people is more than enough. For the GPU or the graphics card, however you want to call it, the most important component for your FPS is going to be the Radeon RX 6800. In my opinion, the best price to performance GPU that you can get right now, considering how expensive the GPU market is. Now, don't get me wrong, this GPU is $480, so it's not cheap, but at the same time, if we compare it with most GPUs on the market right now, it's actually not a bad price. And you have to consider that you're getting a GPU really capable of 1440p high FPS and also a 4K capable gaming graphics card. But anyway, if you really want to go for Nvidia, you will have an alternative in the description. For the case, I picked the Salman S2. I really picked this case basically in every build that's around $1,000 or less, mainly because it's only $60, it comes with 3 pre-installed fans, and the airflow is pretty good with the front mesh panel. If you don't like the aesthetics, then yes, you can maybe spend more money, because actually aesthetics are important for some people, but I wouldn't spend any more than $100 on a case for a budget of $1,000. And last but not least, the power supply. I picked the Enermax Revolution 650 watt 80 plus volt power supply. This is A-tier rated, meaning that it has really good quality, it's not going to explode, so it's going to get the job done. And on top of that, it's fully modular, meaning that you can change all of the cables for this power supply. Now, I try to get something cheaper, but anything cheaper than this has enough wattage, but it doesn't have good quality. They are mostly C-tier rated power supplies, which those are fine for budget builds, but for this type of build you're looking for at least a B-tier rated power supply, and B-tier rated units were actually more expensive than this one that is A-tier rated, so this one is better quality, better price, so I wouldn't get any other power supply than this one by the time that I'm recording this video. So after all, the total price will be $972, so a bit under $1,000. And if you want to spend a bit extra, but not too much, to get this system to perform a bit better, you can get an aftermarket CPU cooler. Now, it's definitely not needed. The stock cooler is going to get the job done, but if you want a more quiet experience and also you want your CPU to be better cooled, then an aftermarket CPU cooler might not be a bad investment. Then if you have, let's say, $1,100, I would upgrade the GPU to the RX 6800 XT, which is around $100 more expensive as of right now, and it's going to give you a much better experience, especially at 4K or really high FPS 1440p. But if you're playing at 1440p, the 6800 will be enough for most titles. But let's say you're playing games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Flight Simulator, then in those type of games, the 6800 XT is going to give you the advantage. But for most titles, especially esports games like CSGO and Valorant, the 6800 will be all that you will need even at 4K resolution. And then if you want something more future-proof, because this CPU has 6 cores and 12 threads, then I do recommend you getting the 5700X instead of the 5600, which is around $50 more expensive, but it has 8 core and 16 threads. Now, right now, the difference by gaming is not going to be huge, but down the line, it is possible that games will require more than 6 cores and 12 threads, and at that point, it will make a difference, while the price between these processors is not really that high. So those are the upgrades that I recommend you doing. If you want the best FPS upgrade, then go with a better GPU. However, this will be the most expensive upgrade. Then if you want something with a better upgradability path, I recommend you getting your Ryzen 7 5700X. And on top of this, if you have the 5700X, you can get better GPUs down the line as well. And if you want to just fill the $1,000 mark, then get an aftermarket CPU cooler to make your experience more quiet and also have a better CPU temps. On the other side, if you want something cheaper about the same performance, then I do recommend you downgrading the storage to 500 gigs. Don't worry, down the line you can upgrade this again. It's really easy to upgrade the storage on your gaming system. Here you are saving around $20, and the second thing that I do recommend you saving money on is the motherboard, especially like I said before, if you have an Ethernet cable. You are saving another $20, so at the end you will be saving $40 for basically the same gaming performance. So that was the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And if you really can't find your perfect PC, not even on my website or with my videos, please let me know. I will try to help you out finding the right components. Or you can actually join the Discord and ask there. There are a bunch of people that will help you out. I try to go to the Discord as much as I can. If you got value out of this video, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which is around 3 to 5 times a week. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.